Today's molecule mystery is based on a real clinical case of a 42-year-old male Saudi patient.
Oh my god, my stomach hurts. Jared, what happened?
Like Jared here is a pretty severe case of abdominal pain. We put him on painkillers for the moment. Jared, how do you feel?
I still feel really painful, just a little bit better.
A little bit better. You also said you were having some nausea?
Yeah, that's
okay, yeah. So actually you are experiencing some gastrointestinal bleeding. That is something that we will have to treat. But other than that, do you have any allergies? Like, were you taking any different medications? Any prior history of hospitalizations?
No, he's always been very healthy. Nothing like that, doctor. Doctor, is Jared doing any better today?
It looks like Jared's condition is still deteriorating. We ran some labs and it looks like his liver enzymes and albumin is beyond the normal range. We also see that his platelet count is dropped. But we are sure that it's not a bacterial infection, and his abdominal scan came back normal as well. So all we can do at this point is continue monitoring Jared's condition to see how his symptoms progress.
Okay, it looks like he's on cardiac arrest.
Can you give me the panels?
Yeah, here we go. Charging.
Clear.
Charging.
Clear.
Charging.
Clear. It looks like we've lost him.
Oh no.
So Tom, it looks like the cause of Jared's death was cardiac arrest, but we still don't know what brought on his condition. Is there anything out of the ordinary that he was taking, something he may not have been prescribed? We didn't detect anything from our end, but sometimes these things go undetected.
I don't know. There was that one time when he was taking something for digestive issues with that it was a remedy from my friend's uncle. I think it was from South Africa or something, some random folk remedy.
We did some testing in that lab, and it looks like the herbal medicine that you brought in has tested positive for a poison called ricin, which is a deadly poison.
But doctor, what is this ricin? I have never heard this poison before. Can you tell me what it is? What does it do? How does it work?
Those are some great questions, Tom. I've actually put together a panel of very reputable speakers, including Dr. Medina, Dr. Cao, Dr. Zhang, and myself, to get you the answers that you deserve.
So let's talk about what is this molecule, like what is ricin. So ricin is a naturally occurring carbohydrate binding protein that produced in the seed of the castor beans. That is the plant that produces the castor oil. So it is toxic when it is inhaled, ingested, or injected. As few as 5 or 10 micrograms per kilogram can kill a person. Castor beans is widespread over the tropical regions and has been cultivated for the non-yellowing oil. Several ancient civilizations, including those of Greece and Rome, use this oil as a laxative. So now, approximately 2 million tons of castor seeds are produced yearly around the globe. Castor seeds can be crushed to extract castor oil, which has industrial applications, such as the preservatives. And the waste mass of castor seeds after the oil extraction process is approximately 5% of the ricin by the weight. And this waste can be detoxified and used as a fertilizer or a supplemental in animal feed. So the purified ricin is a white water-soluble powder that is inactivated by heat around 80 degrees in water solution for around an hour.
Hello, my name is Shiyang, and I'll be talking about the molecular structure of ricin. Ricin is a heterodiamine, meaning that it's made up of 2 different polypeptide chains. The chains are both 32 kilodalton glycoproteins connected by a disulfide bond. The first chain in blue contains 8 alpha helixes and 8 beta sheets and is made up with 3 different domains. The first is a beta sheet containing parallel and anti-parallel threads. The second domain is a alpha helical domain that houses the active site and is the core of the protein. The third domain is where the connection with the second chain takes place and has a helix and 2 beta strands. The second chain in green is a leptin, which means it can bind to carbohydrates. And in the case of ricin, it binds to galactose-containing surface receptors.
Hi, my name is Dr. Aepala, and I'm going to talk more about the mechanism of action of ricin. So this toxin was first described by Peter Hermann Stillmark in 1888, who described the cytotoxic mechanism at the time to be ricin's properties of agglutination in erythrocytes. It was later characterized by Olsnes and Phil that the cytotoxic effect of ricin is actually on eukaryotic ribosomes, inhibiting protein synthesis. So it's now classified as a type 2 ribosome binding protein, also known as RIP. The ricin toxin A chain that was actually previously described by Dr. Cao is actually the one that's involved in inactivating ribosomes by hydrolyzing the N-glycosidic bond of an adenosine residue in the 28S ribosome. This inhibits protein synthesis by blocking elongation factors. This inhibition of protein synthesis by ricin toxin A chain is the mechanism of ricin's toxicity, and it's also known that ricin can inactivate approximately 1,500 ribosomes per minute. Meanwhile, ricin toxin B chain that was also previously referenced is involved in binding to carbohydrates of eukaryotic cells and facilitates the entry of the toxin into the cell.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'll be talking about the history of ricin. The poison was initially studied by the U.S. Chemical Warfare Service during World War I as a potential global weapon for mass destruction as early as 1918. In the 1940s in the United States and in the late 1980s in Iraq, weapons-grade ricin was manufactured and tested in animal experiments and in artillery shells in field testing. Due to ricin's highly sensitiveness to warm temperatures, then it was quickly discarded as a weapon for mass destruction. Scientists kept searching for methods to be able to use ricin as a mass destruction weapon, and it was once again considered for World War II. However, because the antitoxin could not be found still, and the poison was still sensitive to heat, then it was discarded again, and instead poisons such as botulinum toxin were used. After some time, due to ricin's failed tests to pass as a mass destruction weapon, it was considered as a toxin more useful for personal or terroristic attacks. Ricin was used in assassination of Bulgarian descent Georgy Markov in London 1978. A pellet containing ricin was found in his leg during an autopsy. In May 2013, actress Shiyang Richardson mailed letters containing ricin to President Barack Obama, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Mark Glaze, who at the time was executive director of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aepala again, and I'll be speaking about the potential for ricin to actually do good within our future. Ricin has actually been studied as a chemotherapeutic agent. Experimental evidence confirms that malignant cells are more susceptible to ricin toxicity because they express more carbohydrate-containing surface lectin binding sites than non-malignant cells do. Ricin can also conjugate with an antibody to form an immunotoxin, specifically shown in melanoma treatment. Although ricin can be used as a drug for cancer treatment, it is impossible to purchase from commercial sources because of its poisonous property and potential application for bioterrorism. Thank you for watching our panel, Tom. We're really sorry for your loss, and we hope you learned a lot about the toxin ricin.